Cuffs are off, man. Get right, too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gon'.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, don't roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network. And I'm here on a Monday night with my boy Fishing Frank. What's up, Frank? How you doing?
What's up? What's up, people? Doing good. Doing good.
Absolutely, man. So we're here on a Monday. Like I said, man, it's the 14th of August. I know I messed up a couple episodes ago and said something like October, so don't kill me for that. But it's August 14th, which means it's only 23 more days until an actual real NFL kickoff. Chiefs, Lions, Thursday night. 23 days from today. So we're getting so close, man. How excited are you, man?
Yeah, I can't wait. I've been watching all the games. As many as I can, at least, right?
Yeah, man. It was nice to have a week one preseason, man. I tell you what, it was nice. There were definitely some guys I was looking forward to. It sucks how some people, of course, are playing their guys. Other people weren't. But it was still nice to at least get some guys who were relevant fantasy-wise to see them playing here. And I'm sure just for your individual fandom for your teams, not including fantasy, it was great as well just to see your colors back on the field battling out again for another year, man. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we didn't get to see everybody that we wanted to see, but we got to see some, and I think next week we'll get to see a little bit more. Obviously, as we get closer and closer, the teams actually play. The first starters for a little bit longer and whatnot, but it was good. I mean, there was I got plenty of notes on some guys that came out and did some good things. And a couple of guys that I'm going to be fading. So
there you go.
Let's get it. Let's get to
perfect segue. It's like you set it up like we maybe planned it. That wasn't even planned. That was great. We're doing our risers and fallers, man. It's Monday night overreaction. You guys know. From last year, every Monday, Frank and I come here and we overreact to what happened in football over the weekend. One of my favorite episodes because we could just go off the wall with this stuff, but it's not off the wall, man. It's stuff we're paying attention to. And as we know, man, values and stocks of players change literally week to week. So it's, they always say, we do so much with drafting, but you're not going to win your league in the draft. But you can definitely lose it, as they say. So you want to get a nice solid foundation, but then it comes to management, being on the wire, doing all these things throughout the year. And we're going to be here for you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday nights, letting you guys know what we're overreacting to, what waivers to get in. We're going to get into trades and how to keep your lineup, what you're looking for, in the future. And then coming with you here on Friday nights, doing our start sit episodes. And then, of course, we'll have the Sunday morning show with Classic Mike doing our last minute start sit. So, taking your live questions. So
really quick, since Anthony mentioned doing the live drafts and doing your drafts, I walked in on this weekend on a group of guys doing their 30th year Dynasty draft. Some guys flew in because it's like 30th year, so it's a big number, you know what I mean? So obviously they have people live far away, so I just want to ask the viewers, how old is your league? Because our home league is 20 years this year. So we're
20-year
doing
season
some changes. Right, things are happening, and things are going on in our home leagues. Just wondering how old are your leagues? You know what I mean? Like how many years have you been playing with the same guys?
Drop a comment.
Be it a redraft or a dynasty, it doesn't matter. Mine's a redraft, so.
Absolutely, yeah. Drop it in the comments, man, or drop it in the chat. Drop it in the comments if you're watching after the fact. We want to know how long you guys' leagues have been going on, man. Celebrating our 20-year anniversary in our home league over here. Making me feel a little old here, Frank. But that's
just saying, right?
I'm just
Just
saying,
saying
you
it
know,
out there.
that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. So yeah, man. So like we said, man, we're gonna get to it. Of course, one big reason why we're here is we are announcing the top six from our semifinal round that mocked on Friday, which is part of our Get Right Fantasy Network mock draft tournament of champions, which is going on right now. Make sure you get in that description. If you don't know what it is, you know, get in that description. Go check out the lobbies. Send me a DM. I'm going to explain it here shortly, or you could just keep listening, and I'll explain what it is. But we're going to announce those top six, with the top three, of course, getting the invite for the September 1st finale. So that's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be a best ball league. We're going to actually play it out. So those of you guys who maybe are complaining, saying we don't know what we're talking about, I'm putting my money where your mouth is. You come draft a team. If you make it, you know, to the finale, then you draft the team you want, and we're going to play it out like a best ball, and the winner is going to take home $50 cash. So no entry fee. Just come out here, mock draft with us. Again, info's all in the description, and of course, I'll explain it here coming up. But speaking of tournaments, I of course got to give a shout out to our sponsor, man. What makes this thing happen? UnderdogFantasy.com. For those of you guys who don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's a best ball
Guys
platform.
that pay the bills.
Absolutely, man. They have a variety of different contests from large size tournaments with big payouts, like their Best Ball Mania 4, which is a $25 entry. They're making 3 millionaires this year, 3 million to first place, 2 million to second place, and 1 million to third place. Then they have even, you know, the Puppy 3, which dropped today, only a $5 entry. And, you know, that's probably where you want to start to just kind of get used to what the best ball is. But basically, you know, if you were to draft an amazing team and it's just a mock draft, you know, when you wish you totally can, you know, have had this team going in the year on Underdog, you can, man. So make sure you use that promo code Get Right when you go sign up. The link is down in the description. Again, use that promo code Get Right. Make your first deposit anything from 10 to $100, and they will match it dollar for dollar. So you're basically getting two times.
That's free money. That's free money right there.
Absolutely. Get some mocks in there, man. It's great. You're not getting people leaving halfway through. And then in addition to that, they have a bunch of other stuff too.
I like the prop bets. I like the fan of the prop bets.
They have their props, their higher lowers. They got rivalry picks, you know, season long higher lowers. It's a lot of good stuff in there, man. So again, make sure you go check them out. Underdogfantasy.com. Unfortunately, there's a couple places where they're not available. And we have a map here for you. You can pause it. But basically that's Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Idaho, Iowa, Louisiana, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, Ontario, Canada, but everywhere else in Canada is okay. And then the state of Washington. So if you're in those places, unfortunately, they're going to be working on it. It's just not available yet. But if you're not in one of those spots, man, come in here, get in with us, send me an invite. I'll come draft with you, man, anytime. So
I mean, that's pretty much everywhere. So you should
pretty much everywhere. A lot more than when we first, you know, were sponsored by them. It was almost the other way around.
Yeah.
So
they've changed it. They've expanded, definitely.
Absolutely, man. So again, I'm going to explain what our mock draft tournament is here really quick for everybody, just so you guys know. It's something we started 3 years ago. It's just a fun way to put a spin on mock drafting. So instead of just mock drafting, maybe people are leaving halfway through. We kind of give an incentive for people to come out and draft with us. We try to want to find the best of the best people. So what we do is run 4 mocks Monday through Thursday, one each night. We take the top 3 from each one of those mocks and have them mock on Friday night, which kind of forms like a top 12 of that week. Then the top 3 from that group then gets invited to the finale on September 1st. We repeat the same thing basically for 4 weeks in a row, which basically gives us kind of like the elite 12, the 12 best drafters at a, 48 drafters, different drafters each week. Only 3 move on to the finale, and then we get the top 12 out of that entire field. So it's a lot of great people in there, other people out there with their own shows. We have a great network out there, folks that are mocking with us. So again, make sure you come out, get in that description, get your spots. The draft lobbies are open. And yeah, you want to get in the finale because like I said earlier, basically you're going to draft the best ball team. It's the exact underdog settings that we were just mentioning: 3 wide receiver, half PPR, 4-point per passing touchdown, and 18 full rounds. So you'll draft a full best ball team, and the winner of that is going to take home $50 cash. And FFT AJ is our reigning champion, and he's he's yet to make it to the final 3, and we're already on week 3, so we'll see what happens, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doesn't
We'll see.
repeat the next year. Doesn't even make it into the playoffs here. What?
Yeah, we'll see what happens,
That's
man.
rough. Them boys
Yes.
hating on this state right now, saying reality is never be available. Washington. You never know. Don't say never. Never.
It might be, man. We thought so too, man. We thought so too for a while. So
Yeah.
So yeah, man. We got Rafi Bomb in the house. What's up, Rafi? Always appreciate you guys being here. We got Dustin in the chat, man. If you guys got any questions, you can always drop them here. We'll definitely take your questions as we go. So since we're kind of just talking about the tournament, we should just go ahead and announce the
number 6.
Let's announce the top 6 or your not the top 6, but 6 through 4. We'll announce the top
we'll get the
alternates.
three of them real quick.
Yeah.
All right. That's
so
fair.
we'll do that real quick, and then we'll kind of get into some news and notes here. So with that said,
big news and notes right now.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. So we'll do it real quick. Let me bring up the draft board here, so you guys can see it full screen. You don't need to see Frank and I here. We'll make it big for you.
Yeah, there you go.
But coming in here in 6th place, let me just make sure I got this right. 6th place. It's like me Ling. I don't know how to say it, but like me H Ling. I don't know how to say it properly. But he's our boy here, drafting out of the 8th spot. His team is Bijan Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Joe Mixon, Justin Fields, George Kittle, Jahan Dotson, Brandon Cooks, Devon Achane, Evan Ingram, Jonathan Mingo, DJ Chark, Jeff Wilson, and Rashid Shaheed. So that's the team that got 6th place here. Congratulations. For placing top 6, you are going to be one of the alternates, but still was a good build. I guess there was just a couple more that we liked a little better. So we'll put you here. You can definitely jump in another mock here, Luke. So try to win your spot next time, man. We still got two more chances at this thing, man. So let's go. You want to announce the number 5 guy? You have it there?
Yeah, I got Swanky Marks 33.
Swanky Mars 33,
right? Let's see, where's his team at? So he went with Saquon Barkley, then CeeDee Lamb and DK Metcalf, rounds off his top 4 with TJ Hawkinson, and then Damian Pierce. So now he's got two running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end coming in with Marquise Brown, and then takes Trevor Lawrence as his quarterback. Keeps going with wide receivers of Traylon Brooks and Rashad Bateman, another running back, and Damian Harris, Zay Jones, Singletary, and Gallup. So he was just kind of alternating back and forth with running backs and wide receivers there, and then he finishes off with Daniel Jones in his last spot. Pretty solid team at that, but there's some more to come, right?
Absolutely. So congratulations, Swanky. You're one of the alternates for the September 1st finale. In case one of the top 3 here don't make it, you will be called upon and have an opportunity to get in there and win that $50. Otherwise, make sure you get into the mocks going on this week and next week. I think this week is actually full already, but we can always put you on standby list. So if you guys are interested, just let me know. All right, so we'll get into the number 4 team.
And
here.
Would you say they're filling up like
alternate.
right now in like a day or 2 right now? So you gotta be on top of it.
It's like 3. Yeah, it's like 3 days, and they're getting filled. But it's mostly once I start kind of promoting it. I like, for example, I opened up the week 4 lobbies already, which is the last week, and that's the big thing. Is good thing you mentioned that. So for week 4, anyone who wants to get in, it's been 1 entry per week. If you want to register for all 4, you can do it to give yourself at least 4 chances. If you happen to make it in, we'll just remove you from the other mocks. But if you get in there first, you can have 4 complete, 4 opportunities to get in for the final week, up to 4 times. So those lobbies are open. The link's in the description now. If you're watching, make sure you guys go in there and check it out. So we'll get into the 4th place team here, our first alternate, just in case one of the guys up top can't make it in. Our 4th place team here is HTTR for Life, who is Mark over at the Dynasty Pylon. Shout out to the Dynasty Pylon, good friends of the show. He comes in here drafting from the look at that. It went 8, 9, 10. So I guess we like builds towards the back half of the draft.
I've
What's
been
going on with
noticing that
us?
on our picks and things and whatnot, and in overalls that some of the better drafts are towards the back end of the draft versus the front. The front
Right.
has very few guys that we've been picking at.
Yeah, and when they've hit though, they've hit big because
Oh
of
yeah,
the guys they have. But you can mess it up front easily.
yeah.
So yeah,
Not
so
much room for error there.
absolutely. So appreciate you, Mark, for coming out, man, and walking with us, placing top 3 in your qualifier, giving you this opportunity here. Came up just short at 4th place with a build of Stephon Diggs, Tony Pollard, Travis Etienne, Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk, James Conner, George Pickens, Antonio Gibson, Alan Lazard, Aaron Rodgers, excuse me, Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, stacks him with Jared Goff, and then Gus Edwards here to round it out. So, pretty good team, in my opinion. I don't know. Obviously, came in 4th consensus with all of us. As for me personally, I think I had him as my. Oh, I guess I had him as my 5th ranked team. So I guess it's probably my fault. You didn't get into that 3rd spot. I apologize. You just kind of lost me towards the end of it, but we're not here to talk about that. Yeah, shouldn't have said that. He lost me at the Lazard Rogers, and then 2 rookies, and then Goff wasn't bad, and then just Gus Edwards. I felt like he just lost a lot of steam after that amazing start, but I couldn't dock him because that start was really nice. So couldn't argue with picks 1 through what is that 7 there, or 1 through 8 almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, it fizzled out, right? Like fizzled out. It was like
Yeah. You had him as your 4th ranked team, and Dustin had him as his 4th ranked team.
Yeah.
Didn't make Mike's top 6, so I guess it was more Mike's fault than my fault, Mark. So you can go talk to him. You can go talk to him instead.
You got ranked.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, let me save me on that one." That was that's more on classic there. Hating on your build, I thought it was decent at least.
Yeah,
made my top 6. All right, Rafi.
I thought it was
says,
risky
it was
though,
pretty
as you
solid
mentioned,
team.
with the 2 rookies as
4th
tight
place.
ends right there. But I
Yeah.
mean,
They could
Kincaid
hit if they hit.
drafted number 2. They moved up 2 spots to get him by the Bills. He should hopefully produce really well. So who knows? And Laporta also not a bad option. I mean, but you are just taking swings at it, and I don't think it's that bad that late. Honestly, like one of those guys is gonna have to pan out for him. Hopefully,
Right.
right?
Yeah. So we'll see. And if not, you could drop him and just stream tight end like everybody else. So it's not bad. I mean, he was my 5th place team. Not bad. It's not hating.
Yeah,
There's
it's
only a
pretty
couple
solid
more
team,
teams
right?
I like more. All right. So
Rafi
top
likes
3,
it.
man. Yeah, there you go. So we have a top 3. We're gonna get in some of the news and notes here and kind of talk about some of our risers and fallers. And kind of as we're going on, we'll start announcing our top 3, and then we'll recap the top 3 at the end. I probably shouldn't have said that because then now people just fast forward to the end when they're watching later. But again, congratulations to the alternates. Maybe I won't recap it at the end. Then they're gonna have to go back and listen to every one. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they already fast forwarded and now they don't even know. I'm not gonna do it. So hey, that's just how it goes. Yeah, we thought it out. We could change our minds here. All right, so we'll let you guys know the top 3 as we go along here. But let's get into some news and notes, man, and some overreaction here from preseason week 1, man. I know we're excited, man, and I hate to just kind of go from that amazing laugh and high, but I think maybe we've already waited too long already to mention this. But for those who don't know, unfortunately, Alex Collins did pass away today. I didn't get a chance to actually talk or find out what happened in regards to it. I just saw the press release that the Baltimore Ravens released. So just again, want to send our condolences to his family. Just young guy. Obviously, whatever it was, wasn't a good thing. So, to be gone so soon. So again, sending our thoughts and prayers out to the Collins family there. So with that said, some of the other signings we have, or just news that we have, are the 2 big signings that happened today, man. Or technically there's 3 of them, but 2 big ones that we've kind of been waiting for. The first happened earlier today, which was Zeke signing a 1-year, $6 million deal with the New England Patriots. So as a Cowboy fan here, what do you think about that? What was your initial reaction to that?
I thought it was
when there was
good
rumblings
for
of him
Zeke.
maybe
I'm
re-signing.
so happy that he went somewhere and not came back to Dallas.
Okay.
Honestly, I
Okay.
just didn't want him to mess up this whole Tony Pollard thing we got going on.
Oh,
We want
okay.
to see it play out. Let him get all the touchdowns, which brings me to my point, because that's what he was doing to Pollard, was just touchdown honking up at the goal line. And I think that's what he's going to do with Ramondre Stevenson. Last year Zeke had 231 carries and 17 catches, but he had inside the red zone 11 carries with 8 touchdowns. And Ramondre Stevenson only had 6 carries with 1 touchdown. So I think that only hurts Ramondre Stevenson's goal line efforts. And that's where, the money is, there's the bread and butter of some of these guys. So I think it really just detriments Ramondre Stevenson. And so just basically drops them both down a little bit for me on my drafting. I mean, I didn't have Zeke ranked yet. Actually, I'm going to finish up my rankings this week so I can get them up. It's time, and I think I've been waiting too long, honestly. Should have did it before preseason, but that's all right. I wanted to see at least one game
It's
before
about
we
now.
start again. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
it's
don't want to
about
get
time.
overreacted. You know what I mean? Like, some of the stuff is just Dynasty.
We're here to
drafting
overreact
this point.
tonight, Frank.
Yeah,
We're
so
here
now
to
we're
overreact.
overreacting. Now it's time for it, though. You know what I mean? Like, now we got to see something. Now we got something to talk about,
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just think it just lowers overall value for Ramondre Stevenson. If I know anything about the Patriots, they will use multiple running backs, and that's terrible. I always avoided Patriots running backs, and this year I was actually thinking about Ramondre Stevenson, and this just goes right back to, like, no, I don't want it. I don't want any of it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just, they went back to RBBB. You know what I mean? Like,
There you go. And Rafi's saying kills 3/4 of his best ball leagues because of Stevenson is all over them. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think they needed at least somebody like that. I mean, they'll definitely use him. I mean, he's going to take some touchdowns, but nobody's getting 100% of the touches in any backfield nowadays anyway. I still think it's going to be 60, 65, percent Stevenson, and then the rest between Zeke and the rest of the guys there on the roster, Pierre Strong, maybe some Kevin Harris, we'll see. But the biggest thing is, I think even Ty Montgomery might even be back. I can't recall. But I think Zeke coming in, maybe playing this, Damian Harris role, maybe even a little less. But Damian Harris played 13 games last year. He did get hurt, for a while, which allowed, Stevenson to kind of break out and kind of take that job. But Damian Harris still had 106 attempts over 13 games, 462 yards, 3 touchdowns, which was only 2 less than Stevenson, like you were mentioning, his kind of low TD conversion. Still, had 4.4 yards per carry. And like you said, Belichick's using multiple running backs there. So, again, he wasn't going to get 100% of the touches. So I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about Stevenson.
He's not overreacting. I'm
by the dip. Like I say, by the dip. Like, I'll definitely, if he drops around,
now's a good time to
that's great.
shoot a trade offer for Ramondre.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
When the guy's feeling low, Zeke's over there, punch him in the gut.
There you go. All right. So getting to the bigger news, which happened not even too long after the deal with Zeke. Then you hear the bombshell with Dalvin Cook signing a 1-year deal with the Jets for $8.6 million. So $2.6 million more. Of course, that is with incentives. 1-year deal. I think this, says more about where Brees is at, more so than where Dalvin's at. Obviously, the Jets are in win now mode with what they're paying Rodgers and everything else. They know Brees, and even if he does come back, this might not be his complete self. And they don't want to risk an entire Super Bowl just waiting for him to get ready for next year, which is kind of what I've been preaching here all along this entire offseason. I don't know how people were taking him as RB1 or RB2, like that 2-3 turn or sooner. Just blew my mind. Like,
they were taking really
maybe
high.
7th, 8th round, as RB3. Like, okay, if you're good, you want to play that for the back half of the season. But as your RB2 or RB3, like, yeah, dude had upside, man. I'll give you that, but no one's come back except for Peterson, from this type of ACL injury. So again, that's just
Peterson
my take on that.
And now you made me forget the running back from KC. I can't think of his name. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
But he's the only other guy that came back from the injury just as well.
Jamal Charles?
Jamal Charles. That's who it is. Thank you.
I don't know how my brain was like, I knew who you were saying. I was like, wait.
And that's the only
I was
other
like,
guy.
I know, because that was the year
back.
you traded him to me and he tore his ACL. That's why I
had to
remember.
bring it up.
Damn you. Oh my god.
He was killing it though.
I thought I
He was killing
stole
it.
him from you, and then he tears his ACL the next week. And I think that's how my nickname Rasta Reaper was almost born. Like
Right.
that was the first chain of events
Trade
that set
that
that.
starts off.
That was the looking back at it, that
The
was the one that
catalyst.
started it all. Yeah. That immediate one, followed by Brandon Marshall when he had the collapsed lung, followed by several other guys that I just basically turned into the Reaper. So anyway, Dalvin Cook signs that 1-year deal with the Jets, man.
Rafi Bond here. This also ruins my plans for Michael Carter being my last round draft winner.
You should have been listening to us over here, man.
Michael Carter, he had some.
He looked decent.
Had some
this
spark
week,
here and there, and he actually.
They obviously
right.
weren't. Yeah, they weren't having it. They didn't like what they saw. They immediately turned around and signed Dalvin Cook. They were like, "This, they're not going to be able to do it."
Yeah, they weren't feeling.
For what they were trying to do. Yeah,
exactly.
so
they needed. If they had a run, there was it. This was it. Because I mean, Rodgers just signed the deal, but he's already talking retirement. Like it's kind of crazy, right? Like how does that happen?
Well, and then he just took $33 million less, just gave it back to him to say, "All right, let's go sign Dalvin Cook and some of these other guys." So it's just weird. He's a weird dude, but that's cool. I don't mind.
I like his.
We'd love you to come over here. And
touchdown celebration that he made, that he created. Did you see
from Hard Knocks?
Yes.
Yeah, the whole. Yeah, we know. There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he wanted me back. I don't care for him.
I was gonna say
he's over here doing the shaman goddess and with the shrooms and whatever he's got going on. He's smoking. But hey, he can play football.
There it is, man.
Guys.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's get into the next news item here. You got with the Cowboys, your Cowboys, Zach Martin, man, agreed on a raise, ending his holdout, gets $18 million over the next 2 seasons, basically more than an $8 million raise. So he's happy now, which kind of ties into what you were saying earlier.
It was already
back
the
to Tony Pollard.
Player, the guy
you needed that. Like if he would have, if he would have sat out, he needed to be there.
He already got paid like
no more worries.
Ago, and he was like, "What do you think? You're gonna remain the highest paid guy?" It just doesn't work that way. A couple of years go by, some other people get signed, blah blah. You did get the best deal at the time, and now you got even more money for crying. Whatever. I mean, as long as he doesn't get hurt, we're fine. Yeah, he's worth the money though. He's solid.
Yeah. No, you wanted him there.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, so there you go. So that's as far as signings, your news there. Next thing we have are kind of just injury updates from around camp. You have 49ers, my 49ers now. Quarterback Brock Purdy is now fully cleared from his March elbow surgery beginning this week. He will no longer have a built-in day off, and he can go 3 straight practices this week. And maybe we see him in the preseason game, depending on how he feels. Probably not this one, probably week 3. But kind of this is the new dress rehearsal. Week 2 is now the dress rehearsal since there's only 3 weeks now in preseason. So this next week is when we should see pretty much all the starters, at least for a quarter, maybe even a half, which would be really nice. There'll be some select flu that still aren't going to play, but should be close to normal. So in other news, we have J.K. Dobbins activated from the PUP list today. Coach Harbaugh says he's excited. We're all excited, and he's 100% healthy. So how does this affect Dobbins for you? Does he rise or fall because of that news, or you kind of still taking him about where he's going?
Yeah, I'm still taking about where he's going. Nothing really changing there. Not for me, at least.
Okay. I've been pretty, high on Dobbins. We still have to worry about the whole contract situation, but hopefully they'll get that worked out. Seems like people are getting it worked out now. People are getting signed. Running backs got signed. That should kind of set a market. They should be able to agree to something there now soon. You had a Patriots tight end, Mike Gesicki, leave practice today early with a upper body injury. He got hurt on a tackling drill against linebacker Jelani Tavai. Gesicki walked off in pain with the head trainer grabbing under his shoulder pads, and he did not return to practice. So just heads up, keep your eyes on that for you Gesicki owners out there. We'll see if, still again, 23 days. We got 3 weeks until week 1. That you can have an MCL sprain, be back in 2 weeks. That still get an extra week, to be really nice and good, if you got hurt today. So, as long as it's nothing serious, we still got 3 weeks. And it's almost kind of good. If someone is going to get a little injury right now, now's the time to get it so that they can't get hurt even worse as we get closer to the season. so it's a higher chance they'll be ready to go fully healthy week 1. So I don't really mind if it's minor, this early, because then it's like, all right, now they're
Gives you a
definitely not
chance to
having
get
a
that out of
chance.
there.
Yeah, just get that out of the way, and hopefully you're good for the rest of the year. Although it's not great to have somebody nicked up heading into the season, so it can linger.
When there any NFL players 100%, 100%, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, the guys are still playing amazing. So hats off to them. All right, man. So our last little injury kind of thing we got going on here. Jonathan Taylor, man, he's been away from the team, getting additional rehab on his ankle. Apparently he was back at camp today. He remains on the PUP list, and they're saying his stance has not changed as far as I assume they mean his contract situation. But he has returned. So basically he's going from a hold out to a hold in at this point. That was
he's saying I'm not playing until I'm 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so,
which kind of leaves that one thing out there that like, well, I'm here, but I'm not hurt. I'm hurt.
Who's 100% ever?
Yeah, and then that's what we were talking about. Who's 100% ever? But I mean, he's playing it smart because now he's still in. Not defaulting on the contract, getting fined.
Right.
He's there.
Still on that PUP list.
I'm hurt. Who's to say he's not hurt?
Exactly. So there you go. All right. So some updates from the preseason injuries, things that happened over the weekend in the preseason games. You had Saints running back Keandre Miller go down with a knee injury. It's revealed to be, or they went again and got an MRI, and it was revealed to have a minor sprain. So he's going to be out for about a week or two, kind of like we were talking about. You could be out a week or two, still got a week to go to be back to fully healthy. So if it was going to happen, now's the time for something like that. So hopefully he'll be good. He's a rookie. It sucks to miss those reps. But
those are the chances he gets. But I mean,
yeah,
Kamara and Jamal, I don't think he's going to be still in the field much.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe kick the tires on Hunt. So we'll see if they end up calling him back, and maybe
his
they get a
best
deal
shot
done.
for the first couple of weeks when Kamara's suspended would be getting some work then. You know what I mean? Like, right? But if he's injured, it's looking dismal. So it's more Williams.
Exactly. Last little thing here, or maybe I should have included this in the previous section, but Ken Walker returned to practice this weekend. He had been out since the first day of training camp, so I definitely should have had this in the upper section of news, but we'll get to it anyway. He was in a position drill, didn't do any really team stuff. So that's basically kind of where he's at. So Ken Walker, that's good news. He's back at camp doing some individual work off to the side. So hopefully, again, 3 weeks to go. With that groin, he should be nice and healed up for week 1. I think, Ken Walker's dipping in your drafts. I wouldn't mind him as an RB2 and a hero RB build, especially if he's dropping a round or two later. So definitely someone, I'm still, for whatever reason, I'm still big on this Seattle offense for some reason. We'll see if it comes back to haunt me or not. We got a question here in the chat from DeAndre Swift season. I'm on it, man. I've been on a roll. Had a couple solo shows under my belt, so I'm trying to be like 3 steps ahead right now.
Right.
He said, "Hey y'all, I have a trade incoming, and mind if I mention it? Not sure what to do, so just drop it in the chat. We'll get to it. I didn't realize it was an actual question, but there you go. Dim Boys is saying he's trying to figure out how to turn himself into a whale so he can get some of that some of that money from Earsay. So absolutely, man. You got to do it. It's tough. All right, man. So let's get into it. You want to announce number 3?
Oh,
I think it's a good time to announce number 3.
Let's go back. Who is number 3?
Let's do it.
We got JWN71 at number 3.
Oh, no lead up. Just announced it. Boom. No.
Oh,
didn't tell the people. Didn't say what we're announcing for anyone who's new watching. Just boom. There it is.
Sorry, my bad.
It's all
I thought you had done that.
I should have set you up. Yeah. All right, so here let's bring this up first
from this week's.
Yeah. Hey man, we gotta have fun here. What do you guys do? All right, man. So is it coming up? Oh, there we go. All right, so mock draft tournament. For those of you guys who don't know, make sure you get in the description and check it out. It's a tournament we're running right here. It's a $0 entry to get in. You mock in one of the qualifiers. If you place top 3, you get to move on to the semifinal round, which is held on Friday nights on a live stream. So we did that live stream. What you're looking at is the results from that stream. We did announce the 3 alternates, places 6, 5, and 4 earlier. So right now we're going to go ahead and announce the which we kind of did already, but I'm trying to do a nice little lead up to it. We're going to announce the number 3 third ranked team here from Friday. That person has earned themselves an invite to the September 1st finale, which means they no longer have to mock, or unfortunately they can't mock depending on how you're looking at it. But you've made it in, man. You've earned your ticket, the golden ticket to the September 1st finale, and that is JWN 71, as my co-host Frank here just mentioned. So go ahead and read off his team. We were just talking about how a lot of the guys that we've been scoring high have been at the opposite end of the draft, but
Tail end, yes.
this number 3 person who's moved on came from the 101. So go ahead and read it off, man.
From the 101, he picks up Jay Jetta right off the bat, going with Jefferson. He actually takes the guy we were just talking about, Ramondre Stevenson, involved in that trade.
So it's prior to the signing. Prior to the signing.
Yeah, obviously prior to the signing, and it's still great in that as that spot. He might move one round down for me because of the whole signing situation. I'm not sure if he's going to move that much down for Anthony, but definitely for me, Najee Harris and then Miles Sanders. So he gets his 3 running backs, and then he comes back with Christian Watson, who I like this year, Evans, and then Dallas Goedert from Philly. In the 7th spot, Jason Smith-Njigba in the 8th.
That's Juju.
Juju. Oh, it's Juju Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
different.
Sorry.
It's
Juju
JSS,
Smith.
not JSN.
Yeah. You're right. Thank you for correcting
It's
me.
all good. Yeah.
Juju, Zach Charbonnet, who had a pretty decent weekend here. Tyler Boyd ends up taking Dak in the 11th, so he just waited a long time to get his quarterback. Brown, Mitchie, who I've seen some things kind of like him, and then Cole Kmet to round off his team. So yeah, he made it this 3rd spot with this team right here. He just made sure he get a lot of his value players in early and waited on the QB. I think it's a good build. I mean, he has some really nice pieces that I like a lot. At the time, Ramondre Stevenson was a really high pick where he was getting them. So it actually kind of works out for him because he did take so many running backs that he probably wouldn't be affected by the whole trade anyways.
You're right. And I just so you know, JWN, you were my 2nd place team. I'm just throwing that out there.
It a lot.
I liked it. It was my 2nd ranked team. You made Dustin's top 6 and Frank's top 6, which is why you made it in here at the top 3. So congratulations. We'll get you that invite. We'll get you the link to the September 1st mock draft. We'll shoot that out to you. But congratulations, man. If you are in any mocks this week or next week, you can go ahead and jump out. Yeah, and that's the one you're looking for. So I don't know if that's the good one, but either way, there it is.
Like
so absolutely. Congratulations, JWN71 from Wilson, who's already in there. Shout out to Wilson, our ambassador extraordinaire. Good S JWN from Rafi Baum over here. So there you go, man. So DeAndre, let's get to your question here. Let's get this off the board. So he dropped his question here, his trade question. He says, I got sent Mike Keenan Allen and Aaron Jones for Devonta Smith and AJ Dillon. His other running backs are Pollard, Madison, and Dalvin Cook. His other wide receivers are Kupp and Godwin. He's scared of Keenan Allen injury concern. It's a 12-team full PPR. Appreciate you putting that 12-team full PPR.
Yeah, that helps.
That was one of the first things I was about to ask. Well done. Professional professional question asked there.
Put together, right?
There, yeah.
Yeah, that's
well
well
done.
put together question.
Well
Appreciate
done.
that. Thank you for taking your
See,
time.
normally we could ask that and it gives us time to kind of think about it, but because you put it in there, now we look like the dopes because we don't have the immediate answer. But in regards to this,
you can't just blurt out an answer. Come on.
Is this redraft or dynasty? That's the only other thing I want to ask. It doesn't involve picks. And again, if you've already drafted the team right now, I assume this is dynasty. But just clarify for us, dynasty or redraft. I'll try to answer either way. But for me, I think I like the Devonta Smith and AJ Dillon side if it is dynasty, because again, they are the younger pieces. But if you're like in a win now, immediate, thing, I don't mind Keenan Allen and the Aaron Jones side. I think it has a little more upside because it is full PPR. And you saw how they were throwing the ball to Aaron Jones right out of the gate. I thought Jordan Love actually looked pretty decent. He was one of my risers, just to give you a sneak peek into that when we get into it here soon. This is really a tough one for me, man. But I think
Devonta Smith gets a lot of touches, man. That's
I just
PPR makes a difference.
I mean, I think collectively, if you're looking at it from a draft standpoint, he's saying redraft. Oh, so if it's redraft, yeah, I think I have to go Allen, man.
Allen and Jones, right?
Yeah, I think I have to go
Go with
Allen
the
and
risk
Jones
on the
because they're
injury?
the closer on ADP, whereas Devonta Smith is higher than both, Aaron Jones and Keenan Allen. But the gap between Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon
A.J.
is much
Dillon's.
bigger
Yes.
than that other gap there. So in regards to that being redraft and it's just 1 year, the age doesn't scare me. I like Allen with Herbert in that offense. Aaron Jones is going to be good in PPR still from what it looks like. So I'll take that Allen
Stick to your
Jones side.
guys. Stick to your
Yeah.
guys.
But great, appreciate that, man. Good stuff.
I mean, and I like his back. I like he already has his RBs anyway. He's been Pollard, Madison,
Yeah.
and Cook. So
Yeah, and you should be
got
good,
a
especially in
solid
redraft.
running
Yeah.
back core, considering this 12-team PPR. So you did pretty good on your draft
Yeah.
at some point.
And he's going Cup, Allen, and Godwin as his 3 wide receivers, whether it's 2 wide receiver in a flex or 3 wide receiver league. I like those starters, so definitely keep your side on that.
Yeah.
Awesome. He said, "Thanks, y'all." Dim Boys chimed in and said, "Smith Dillon definitely the better side for long term value and very likely better overall this season." He said he'd take it.
Take it.
Oh, and then he
The
said,
split.
he said because it was redraft, he'd probably stay with Allen and Jones.
Allen Jones, yes.
So he came so we answered basically the same. We said the same thing. So yeah, there you go. Rafi said Allen and Jones are still ones. Smith and Dillon are both number 2s on their team. So exactly for all those points. Get Right Nation coming out here in droves, helping you get your questions, man. So if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. Appreciate you coming out. And if you're not subscribed already, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, make sure you hit that like button. We are on the quest for 1,000 subscribers, man. So if you know somebody who watches fantasy football content, or even if they don't, if you're just around somebody else, ask to borrow their phone so you can make a call. Go onto YouTube, search Get Right Fantasy Network, hit the subscribe button, hand it back to them, say they didn't answer, and they won't even know the difference, man. So
Exactly.
we appreciate it. Help us get to 1,000. Whatever you got to do. Nah, we appreciate it, man. Hit that like button for us too, man. If you're watching right now, that's just as good as a subscribe.
Random people's
Absolutely.
phones. Instead of saying, "Oh, you got hacked," and sending it into their Facebook.
And if they get mad,
hack their
let me
YouTube
know.
and like us.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us.
Exactly. Help a brother out over here. So no, we appreciate that, you guys. So what else do we got here? So yeah, number 6. So again, congratulations, JW. Nah, we'll tease it a little bit more. Let's get into some.
Cool.
Let's get into some of our preseason week 1.
Oh, we're gonna talk the
risers and fallers. Yeah, let's get into it. We're only 42 minutes in. We might as well get to what we were here. What the actual title said.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? All right. So this is how
we're not
do it,
long-winded at all, right?
It's all good. We love it, man. We'll talk with you guys all night. It's all good. All right, man. So this part should go fairly quick, though. I'm sure we got a lot of the same guys. We all watch the same football. We know what's going on. But there's definitely some guys I kind of want to highlight or low light. And let's start with the quarterback position. So do you have a quarterback? Let's start with the riser. Who was one of your quarterbacks that you felt is on the rise in your rankings, or even if not a rise, someone you want to.
We talked about it earlier, and I think we just kind of differed on Anthony Richardson.
There you go.
He did all right. I know that's not for our notes. I just thought he had a good game. I think he looked well, played well. I know he had the interception, but it wasn't all his fault. And
he did bounce back.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see. I mean, he didn't just start choking from there on. You know what I mean? Like that's a big move for me. So I really liked him. I think that I might shoot a trade offer back out for that guy.
There you go. Classic Mike has him.
Yes. Classic Mike
Dynasty
League.
League.
I might have to hit him back up. Billy.
Maybe you're going to talk to him. Oh, there you go. All right, work it out. So yeah, Anthony Richardson, man, goes 7 for 12, like you said. Started off with that pick, but bounced back to complete the majority of the rest of his targets or attempts.
I like the way them boys said
7
things,
yards.
though, just really quick. He said, or sub the whole family, create 3 accounts, subscribe them all like me. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
That's a loyal fan right there.
Well, and
anyway, sorry about that.
But it's only a half truth because his son actually is the one, Dim Boys Jr., who took down our listener league last year, man. Speaking of which, we're going to be drawing for the listener league this Friday. So if you're interested and you want to get in, make sure you hit us up and we'll get you an entry into the listener league, man. If you want to come play against myself, against Frank, against Classic Mike, I think Dustin gave up his spot to get another person in there. But Wilson's in there. already with the golden ticket, and you know, we had to get Dimboys in there because he's the reigning champ, Dimboys Jr. So he'll be in there again automatically. So I think that leaves only like 7 spots left. That will be given out on Friday. So we got a good list going on so far. We will be doing that draft on Friday. So yeah, so good one there. I'll just counter that. Or I don't want to counter it. I'll go with another one of my risers. Who do I want to pick out, man? Jordan Love. 7 for 10, 112 passer rating. Comes out, they're just throwing the ball. I like the connection he had. Romeo Dobbs looked good. We'll get into that, later.
Yeah, I have him written down right here.
Christian Rawson's just a big dude, man. Like he's just one of those receivers. You're like, yeah, I'll take that guy. Like if you're like if they're lined up, you're like, yeah, I'll take him. Like you don't even know if he's
Remember what I said about him last week or 2 weeks ago, Christian Watson?
Yeah. So I'm just saying,
the
like,
RS score only second to Megatron.
There you go. So
just keep that in mind. I'm looking for that guy. I'm
yeah,
trying to draft him. Trust me on this.
He's definitely one of your targets, so it'll be tough for me to get him in yours. I've definitely taken him a couple times. I would love to have him as a wide receiver 3. I think you have to draft him as most likely a wide receiver 2 if you want to get him, depending on your build. But you can get him as your wide receiver 3. Just you might be lacking elsewhere. But so yeah, so he looked good. I just think that offense isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. They look decent. Granted, again, it is week 1 and we are overreacting here. But just kind of compared to what I thought, definitely Jordan Love and those Packer players are moving up a little more compared to some of the other offenses I've seen this week. I think seeing something that ran pretty decent was nice to me. So
I think
we got a couple other guys here, but
Aaron Rodgers moving on kind of helped the team be a little bit younger overall. You know what I mean? Like kind of
more athletic,
a little bit more of what they need to be with who they have. Having the 2 young guys in Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs, who ended up with just 2 for 2 for 21 yards, but a touchdown on that game. And last year he seemed to be the target hog. So I think that Romeo Dobbs would be getting more touches and looks and targets. But I think Watson would be the higher ceiling of guy who has the explosive plays and the higher touchdown rate possibly because that and Romeo Dobbs be more possession, right? More the steady guy, right?
Absolutely,
steady Eddie. I said that.
Absolutely. So a couple I don't want to say honorable mentions because they were definitely on my rise list. You got to mention Justin Fields, man, going 3 for 3, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards on 3 passes. Obviously, DJ Moore taking that screen to the house, and same thing with Khalil Herbert taking the screen to the house. If they're playing
both of those guys' stock just went up real quick. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, exactly. So they're both definitely on my rise list here, but definitely makes you feel a little more confident. That offense just looked like decent. I mean, it's just this just purely like I don't care what the analytics said. They didn't look awful watching them play football, and it looked like they had a purpose with what they were doing, and it looked good. So I'm not as down on that Chicago offense as I originally was. So can't wait. Again, this is stuff that just gets you excited.
I like
about
Fields
football.
in the first place. I did like Fields in the first place, but now seeing those guys actually just literally take him to the house quick. It really looks like
if he can do that,
it won't just have to be Fields all day long. Which is
that's going to be trouble.
Exactly. That the people defense is going to have a hard time stopping that offense.
Exactly. So a couple other folks, I thought Deshaun Watson looked good. I don't think his final numbers were really that great, but the fact that he was taking off, getting some rushing upside, didn't look as rusty, of course, as what we've seen last year. Seen him even hopping up. Looks like he was enjoying playing football again. And so to me, that's important. Kind of just reading that body language. When he took off running and made first down and kind of celebrating, you could tell he's starting to find the love of the game again. Regardless of what you think about him, personally, this is just a fantasy show, so we're not going to broach that topic. But just from a purely fantasy analyst perspective, as far as value, where you can get this guy and what his potential upside is, he could be the Jalen Hurts, I think, of this year. Getting him in the 6th round or later. Which is where Jalen Hurts was going last year, and finished 1 or 2 in a lot of different, depending on your scoring, but top 3, worst case scenario. So I think he could easily get top 5 quarterbacks this year. I think that 4 and 5 spot is wide open.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah, and again, there's plenty of people that are like the same thing. I just had to say the analyst side of it. Like I said, I'm gonna stay neutral in regards to the personal feelings on that, but just report on the statistics there. So hopefully I navigated that nicely.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, you did good. You did a good
there,
job.
trying to be a pro there. So what else we got here? Baker Mayfield, I think was someone else. A nice little honorable mention. Goes 8 for 9, 63 yards and a touchdown. He looked pretty decent. Trey Palmer looked really nice. I picked him up in our dynasty league, I think in the 4th round. My only rookie pick this year in the Get Right fantasy league. So I feel real nice with that. He could be a nice piece to come. Maybe finds a way to be that wide receiver 3 with Godwin and Evans. So we'll see what happens there. 132 passer rating for Baker. And then another honorable mention with Sam Howell going 9 for 12, 77 yards, and a touchdown to Jahan Dotson, who looked great. 117 passer rating for him as well too. So those are some of my, not some. Those were the rest of my riser mentions. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Rafi Obama agreed with Carr, Howell, and Pickett there. Raise some eyebrows.
Oh, there you go. And then Trey did raise eyebrows for different reasons. So let's get into that. QB fallers. Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, man, 2 sacks.
Who's on your list right here already? Yes.
Basically a pick that it should have had that turned into a touchdown. The final stats don't look that bad. So as a Niners fan, I'll take it. But if you're actually watching what happened, it wasn't that great. That touchdown could easily be an interception, and that was like a 30-something yard pass. So that'd have been
with
even
other
less
passes.
yards. Yeah. So again, he wasn't playing with the number one, line. I don't think he wasn't playing obviously with Debo and Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey. That's going to take a lot of pressure off of those receivers when you're playing with the number one. So again, I don't think jury's out on Trey, but he did look bad. Again, we're here to overreact. So we'll say Trey didn't have a nice outing there. Again,
The
finished
jury's
at
out.
15.
Who'd you say in your notes when we started the show is back from injury?
Who's back from injury? Oh yeah, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's QB1.
And he's going to be what? About a week and a
QB1.
half out. He'll be into the last game possibly. Get the rust off. That's who's going to be starting as soon as he's able to do it. He just kind of sealed his own fate.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
this was his chance to
he could show out next week and totally change minds again. That's what preseason's for, man. That's why we got to
overreact. He was reading the field right. He looked like he regressed.
Last preseason, he looked amazing. So remember those deep bombs he had and all that. You were even there. You saw it in person. And you were like,
"Yeah, I thought he sucked."
This dude.
I thought he sucked in person. He was fast though. He was fast.
All right, we'll see. All right, we're gonna change the subject on this. All right, so who else? Who do you got as
another down
QB
guy?
follower?
Is Russell Wilson. I think you had him in your notes.
I did too. Yeah,
7 of 13, 93 yards. He did have a TD. Just doesn't look good. For what he is, what he should be doing.
They kept him out there against the second team because of how bad he looked at first.
Yeah, that's how bad he is. Right?
That's the only reason why they outplayed the twos. Just went against the second string defense just to try to get some rhythm.
I mean, Ben DiNucci, the second guy, went 7 of 9 for 57, almost the same numbers.
Better percentage.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. He's the faller for me. He has been down, and which makes me, worry for the rest of the guys there. Because at some point you need somebody throwing the ball to you to get you to touchdowns and things like that. But I mean, honestly, they did have okay numbers. Right. I mean, but you said they stayed in there a little bit too long for, they shouldn't have played into the second half like that being this game.
And they were doing nothing against their
second team
ones.
Right?
Yeah.
Against
and Ruffy saying it was the line that made him. He had 0 time, but I mean, old Russell Wilson would do that little spin, get out of there, make plays down the field.
Yeah.
He's not that guy anymore. And we just have to. We just have to understand that. Yeah, and that was a big part of his game. So it's unfortunate. But we'll see. Again, maybe they're just playing everything real vanilla. It is a new system. I assume Sean Payton, isn't coming in with a simple offense. So it's just going to take time. So hopefully they work the kinks out. They can watch the tape. I'm still high on guys like Judy and maybe Sutton actually out targeted Judy. I don't know what to read into that. But we'll see how it continues to play out.
Because Judy and Sutton look okay. I mean, Samaje Perine got 6 for 26, 4.3 yard average. He's doing his thing. I mean, that's who I like over our hurt guy. What's his name? Williams coming in here. Javonte Williams here coming in. So hey, late round waiver wire pick, or whatever.
RB3, RB4. Yeah, nice target there.
Before.
Absolutely. Another guy I had as a faller, Bryce Young. I mean, I don't know about a faller per se. I mean, I think he's going about how he performed as far as fantasy drafts go. But didn't look, completely great. There didn't play much. So I want to see a little more. Maybe he'll play a whole half next week, and we'll see where he ends up. So I think both rookies actually. CJ, well, all three technically. I had them all on my list. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson were all on my fallers.
Rookies, bro, calm down. Don't overreact. It's okay.
Well, I mean, just they're rookie quarterbacks. What do we expect, man? We're getting too much in the what have you done for me like lately? Like it used to take quarterbacks 3. I mean, look, Andrew Luck wasn't. I mean, he was all right his first year, but like Trevor Lawrence, like he wasn't great. It took him a year. Urban Meyer, whatever you could say. But even it's almost it's going on his 3rd year now. We're saying his breakout's coming. Like
well, maybe there's luck in the air now.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. I mean, I think it would just put too much on these guys' plates so early. Like give them time to develop. It's preseason week 1, but we're here to overreact, man. That's what we're here for. All right, so that's all I got. You got anybody else you want to mention there? You want to move on to running backs here?
Yeah, let's move on. No, those are the ones we worked out with. Right.
There we go. Running backs. Tell me which running back you thought was on the rise here. What do you want to highlight?
Zach Charbonnet, 4 for 14, 3.5 yard average. I think we mentioned him a little bit earlier. And I think that Kamara looked good. 3 for 14, 4.7. It wasn't in there that long, but Jamal
had a couple catches too.
And a couple catches, man. That dude they'll be fine. Like
he's your favorite guy.
Yeah, let him get his.
You're like, don't talk
I'm gonna draft
actually,
him
he's
now.
A faller.
Like,
yeah,
he's falling. I don't care what anybody says about falling. Like you're let him fall to me. Thank you. Like I'll take him around all day long with that 3-game suspension. That dude's it's money. It's money in the bank right there. Even with Williams there, I don't care. Like he could score.
Oh man,
he just. I mean, come on. Like what I mean. He looked good. Those are a couple of running backs that I have. Deuce Vaughn. I mean, we got to get into him.
I had him. Okay. Yeah.
8 for 50, 6.2 yard average, 1 touchdown. That dude's a little firecracker. He's small.
Hey, he reminds me of like Doug Martin, bro. Like Mighty Mouse.
Super small. That dude's tiny. He's gonna get broke. Hopefully not that soon, but I mean, that guy's he needs to be in the NFL, playing some games. I think he just kind of reminds me of what
makes the team.
Oh yeah,
you think he makes the team?
Make the team. He's gonna make the team for sure.
8 for 50, just reminds me of yard. Yeah, average touchdown.
Yeah,
3 for 3, 6
People
yard.
were pumped seeing him. Like he'll sell tickets.
He's a ticket seller, and that's what Jerry wants over there.
Oh yeah, that's how you stay. You stay the most valuable franchise. You got to sell the tickets.
All right, we're not going into that. All right, give me another riser. Who you got? You got
I did want to mention, just get a little deeper with this, just a little bit. Give me a second.
Ahead.
With Rico, I can't even say his last name. Dwaddle. He is actually the number 2 in the depth chart for Dallas there behind Tony Pollard. And so you might want to consider handcuffing him for Tony Pollard or, late round pick on him. He did end up going for 3 for 33. And then he had 3 for 33 catching and 6 for 21 rushing with 3.5 yard average. So he was involved in both the rushing and the passing game there. He's been injured the last 2 seasons, and he's number 2 on the pecking order right now as far as the depth chart. So you may want to consider him.
Interesting. I thought it was Malik Davis. They were talking about him, but
no, Malik Davis he's no longer number 2, and I didn't think Malik Davis was going to stay there.
Ooh, okay, that's fire. Let's go.
So
I don't think they carry 4. One of them's going to be gone, so we'll see.
Well, they're not. Deuce Vaughn staying, dude. Malik might be gone.
Oh man, that's fire right there. There you
Yeah.
go. All right. You got anybody else you want to mention on a riser? You want me to go?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right. So Khalil Herbert, man. Gotta go with my boy Khalil Herbert. Took him as my RB2 in the Scott Fish Bowl. Shout out to Scott Fish Bowl, Snickers Division 101 draft spot. Khalil Herbert, man. Looks like the RB1 there. Took that screen to the house from Justin Fields, like we were just talking about earlier. Came out with the ones, basically played, the entire time with them. Did not great in pass blocking, but I don't mind a guy not being able to pass block, especially because you want your running backs running routes in passing plays, not pass blocking. So get him out in routes, and I'm happy with that, especially if we catch the ball on first and second down, even if they do bring in a Roshan Johnson type on third downs. I think he can get enough catches to be a nice mid to low end RB2 if you need a nice guy and you're looking for one late in the draft. So definitely someone I'm looking at. I'm surprised he didn't mention James Cook, but I know if Classic Mike was here, shout out to Classic. He's been big on James Cook this all off season. He looked really good this weekend. I mean, just that Buffalo offense, man, is just good. I mean, it looked okay even with Brandon Allen, or who was it? Brandon Allen. Which Allen was it? It was the other Allen. But 4 for 20, got that touchdown around the edge, looked real nice. That was a red zone rush. I think they were on like the 13-yard line, so it's good to know he's not coming out, and they're putting Latavius Murray or Damian Harris in there. I think Damian Harris is a little nicked up right now. So that was nice to see. We'll see what happens during the actual dress rehearsal when we get in the year. But if you can get him as your RB3, RB4 even, not a bad
that was Kyle Allen.
Not a bad option. Kyle Allen, there you go. I was like, Brandon Allen is on my Niners. That's why I know that. I know it wasn't him. So good looking out there, Frank.
James Cook went 4 for 20, 5-yard average, 1 touchdown on his day. So yeah,
there you go. And then I had Etienne and Bigsby, man. Etienne just looks great. Bigsby didn't look bad himself. It's a nice little 1-2 combo. I'm just big on all Jacksonville players, man. I really liked it. I don't know why, out of nowhere, Jacksonville's just kind of one of my favorite teams I'm going to be looking forward to watching every Sunday. So just to see what happens with those guys. Invested a lot of places in those on that team. So I'll be definitely watching them on Sundays. I mentioned the one day that there's like not football. Who you got? Who you got is some running back fallers. You got anybody you felt kind of didn't show well at the running back position? I think it's hard to kind of judge.
Yeah, I didn't actually have a running back faller.
I kind of just
write anybody down for that.
All right, I'll kind of throw some out there. I really had to kind of search for them. Nobody that really totally standed out, but I think Najee being in like a little timeshare with Warren was a little.
Jalen Warren.
Yeah,
well, I think that's going to be a given.
Everybody's liking him, yeah, but everyone keeps talking about they've only ran running back, and Najee's all about volume, but there's even talks about maybe Warren even takes over as the one if he's not, if he's more efficient than Najee, maybe they just give him all the work.
I think it all comes back to the coach that is going to be stubborn or not, or go with the better player.
Yeah. So Warren went 3 for 13, 4.3 yard average. And Najee went no carries, 1 catch for -1 yards, again on no attempts. So I don't know what to read into that. We'll see. Again, preseason 1, we're here to overreact. Jalen Warren, RB1 in Pittsburgh, calling it out. You heard it here first. Maybe second or third. I think other people might have said it by now.
We're just putting a stamp on it, is what we're saying.
Yeah, we'll stamp it. No, I'm just kidding. But definitely moving, if Najee wasn't already down already, moving him down a little bit. In my rankings,
I was not very high on him because he is a volume guy. He's
literally
really low average.
Your ideal trap back. He's just literally your volume trap back type guy.
You need to have him in a PPR league because he gets all those touches. That's the way he's scoring his points for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not by the yardage of the touchdowns. It's just
so
the fact he gets the ball every other down.
Right.
It's like volume. Let's go.
Any other ones I kind of noticed? I just put Dante Foreman on there. He kind of seemed like the odd man out. Looked like Roshan got a lot of work. Looked like, again, Khalil, who I mentioned as one of my risers, got good work with the ones. But Foreman really didn't do too much. So if you've been targeting him late, taking a shot at one of those 3 guys, to me it goes Khalil, Roshan, and then Devonta in that order. So to me, Penny didn't look that great either. 9 for 34, 3.8 yard average. Again, wasn't playing with the ones and stuff, so kind of hard to judge, on some of those. Zamir White, he didn't look anything exceptional. Devon Achane only had 10 carries, only 25 yards. Miles Gaskins had himself a day over there, over 100 yards. Who knows what's going on in this Miami backfield? Is it Gaskin season again? I don't know. I'm still holding on to him in Dynasty. I wish they would have
Achane, though. I didn't think he looked that bad.
I mean, the thing that's positive is that 4 for 4 for 41 receiving yards.
Yeah.
So that's what you're really looking at there. Those 4 catches and 4 receiving yards. So if he can have that,
some third down work.
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, if Tyreek and Water are on the field, that ball's going down the field.
Yeah.
It's not being dumped off to A-Chain. So we'll have to see how that how that ends up working out.
That's
Well,
true.
who knows? Maybe with Tua's concussion situation, they're like, hey, if they're not open and you don't let go of it, check it down so you don't get hit. So
Yeah,
maybe
right?
there is more to that to come. You know, maybe they design that in more, kind of free up that pass rush, make them think a little bit, instead of just being able to pin their ears back. All right,
Exactly.
so you want to,
That's
before we get into the rest of the receivers and tight ends and stuff here, you want to announce the number 2 person? You want to
So
set
what
it
are
up?
we
Or
announcing?
you want to
Just to
announce
set
it?
it up again? Yep, just to
Yeah,
set it
here
up
we go.
again.
All
Just
right, I'll
let me
set
just
it
like
up.
go
So
into it real quick.
there we go. All right, so our mock draft tournament of champions. For those of you guys who don't know, we're running a mock draft, one mock per night, Monday through Thursday. We take the top 3 of those guys. They all draft in the semifinal round on Friday nights. We're doing that for 4 weeks. So we basically repeat that process, take the top 3 from those semifinal rounds, and they all will compete in the September 1st finale. So tonight we are announcing the second place from last Friday's semifinal. That person will earn their spot into that finale and have their chance at the $50 prize. And that person is Frank.
Ooh, Awesome Eckler.
Awesome Eckler. So congratulations, Awesome Eckler, for placing second in the second round of the semifinal round, the semifinal round 2. So congratulations, man. You'll get that invite and link to the finale here soon. So keep your eyes out for it, man. Congratulations. Drafted a nice team here. He was drafting out of the 3 spot, I believe. So hey,
Yes.
maybe all the best spots aren't at the back of the draft, guys.
Yeah.
So the 3 spot takes it down here. And why don't you go ahead and read off that team
Well,
for
he
everybody?
ends up getting CMC falling to him at the 3. As Justin Jefferson, Jamal Chase were taking 1 and 2. So I mean, who's not going to take CMC there? That's a good pick. Comes back with JT, which is kind of sketchy at this point right now because the whole thing. And Josh Allen, I really like this year. DJ Moore, we've seen him, just catch and run, get the touchdown. Brandon Ayuk is upcoming. Michael Pittman, and then he takes Waller in the 7th, which I like. It's good, let him fall a little bit, not reach for a guy like that. Brian Robinson, who's doing some things over there in Washington. Kadarius Toney, who could be something over here in KC as long as he stays healthy. And we were just talking about Williams over there in New Orleans with Kamara. So he's going to have at least a good first 3 games, and we'll see how he works out through the rest of the season. So he's a good guy to have, especially on that offense, because New Orleans offense looks solid, right? I mean, they're like for real this weekend. Jamal Williams there coming off from Detroit. Marvin Mims,
Jameson Williams. But yeah,
Jameson Williams. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Jameson
he
Williams
took them back to back. At least they're not on the same team anymore.
right? Exactly. And then we got Marvin Mims, and then Kenneth Gainwell, who's coming over there in Philly as well. And then last but not least, Kareem Hunt was one of the guys is not signed right now, right?
Right.
So I mean, who knows? Maybe these picks, especially as the last pick, is not a bad idea because Zeke and Cook have been signed today. So maybe Hunt is on the the up and come
Next
sign.
one to
It's
drop.
time to sign. Yeah, people as far as the teams and whatnot have been shaking off the rest. With this preseason, seeing what they got, what they don't have, what they what I mean. Like they're gonna make be making money decisions and team roster decisions real quick, and I think that'll put some pressure. With the guys that are still out there and out withstanding because I think that's what it worked well for. Who was it here that just signed recently? The running back who was holding out. I can't think of his name. Anyways, point being, what I was trying to say is that the running backs that have been trying to hold out, it's not looking too good. I mean, you know what I mean? Because there was so much running back, depth out there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like it
I
was
think
the scarcity wasn't there.
Fournette and Hunt are the 2 still kind of
Still
bigger
out there,
guys
yeah.
that haven't bigger names that haven't signed now
Yeah.
that Zeke and Cook have. So
And that's 4 guys out there, and you have guys like over at the Raiders here with
yeah,
help me out.
Darnell Williams or Darrell Williams. They
no,
just signed him today.
No, the running back.
Oh, Josh Jacobs holding.
Josh Jacobs trying to hold out and things like that. It's working to their detriment to have all these guys out there still, and plenty of running backs being willing to get some work in. So
Yeah,
now
as those people sign, the leverage for those guys goes up.
up a little bit, yeah. So that's helping him out. So there was too many guys out there, but yeah. Welcome to the thing. I mean, Austin Eckler. He's the one I think we were talking about in our chat. So he's having some really nice
One of the
drafts.
highest, yeah. His draft on Thursday in the qualifier, had one of, or I think for this year had the highest score, hitting I think 22 points between the four of us, which is hard to do. Perfect score basically is 24 points because that'd be 6 points times 4 for all of us. So he scored a 22. So almost a perfect score. 2 first places and 2 second places. Unfortunately here, I mean, I guess fortunately you still made second place, but they really liked your team. Awesome Eckler, I gotta say, bro, I gave you a 6 last week or on Thursday, but you didn't even make my top 6 with this one. So those of you guys who are, when they heard the team get read off and were like, that's not a strong wide receiver group, or question marks at the RB2 and this and that, I'm right there with you. DJ Moore, Ayuk, Pittman, you got the stack with Taylor and Pittman. Like, I don't know what my counterparts were thinking here on this one. You got Javonte Williams who's suspended, you got Kadarius Toney who's coming off surgery. I'm just not feeling it. Didn't make my top 6, but either way,
where he took him was okay though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't agree because he didn't make my top 6, but hey, that just goes to show you. That just goes to show you,
right?
Not one
We
person has any influence here. So
but either way, like we were saying, he was 22.
You still
22 points. Dude,
on the one before, I'll give him that one. But this one, you kind of let me down here, Awesome Eckler. Maybe it's because I was expecting so good, coming off such a good. Maybe the bar was raised a little high, but I can't go back and change it now. But either way, you got in second place. Congratulations,
Martin Victorious.
He didn't make it in yet. I mean, he made it in the semifinal, but we're still announcing the top 6. Where we have one more to go, and unfortunately, you haven't been named yet. But maybe you're the number 1. We'll see. Stay tuned. All right, so let's get into we'll
Drum
save
roll,
the
please, right?
Yeah, we'll save the number 1 here
last.
for a little bit longer. Let's get into the rest of our risers and fallers here, so we can get out of here hopefully at a decent time. Since it's real late already here on a Thursday, or what are we on a Monday? I'm in a weekday. I'm losing it.
We're just
it's already getting too late. Yeah, we're just getting going. I'm like, hey, because I mean, we'd be that much closer to some football. So let's go with our wide receivers, man. Who did you like seeing this weekend at the wide receiver position? Who do you feel like
the first guy? We already spoke about Romeo Dubes here. Tank Dell's the other guy that I got written down here for Houston. 5 of 65, a touchdown, 8 targets total. That dude's, he's going to be a ball hawk, man. I like that guy. That guy's up and coming. I think his, stock.
Oh, he said he barely made the show. My bad. Hey, well, I appreciate you being here, bro. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And he normally voyeurs us, so I'm glad he actually dropped something in the chat. Appreciate it, bro.
For sure.
Make sure you guys go follow Martin over at the Dynasty Pylon. His link to his channel is in the description. So make sure you guys go down there and check it out. Great friend of the show. Appreciate you coming out here, man. Absolutely. Yeah, all right, so go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you on that.
No, it's just
had to get a promo in for my guy.
Right. I just like Tank Dell. I think you have him on your notes as well.
Yes, sir.
He just looks good, dude. He's somebody I want to have, and he's an up and comer. I think I just wrote down some Calvin Ridley looked good this weekend, 2 for 21. Just to see him come and play again, it was good to see him out there. I was worried about him. Now that I've seen him more, I feel more confident about where he's going and taking him there.
That third round.
But I did want to mention Christian Kirk did go for 2 for 12.
Yeah,
and the PD there.
Guy.
So you're getting a lot of value out of Christian Kirk possibly here.
That's who I'd rather get.
Just another guy that mentioned Jordan Addison, but he only got 1 lick, 1 for 22. Just some guys that I had written down, just that kind of stood out, or that were like kind of looking at.
You wanted to see. Yeah, you wanted
to see some stuff.
If Kellen Mond didn't underthrow that ball, that was like a touchdown or like a 40-yard play, and we'd have a whole different outlook on. He'd be flying up. So I'm almost kind of glad he underthrew him, because I'm still trying to get him
down low. Keep down low.
I'm still trying to get him in that like 6th, 7th round. I don't want to have to spend
sweet spot
any more than that.
Don't want to pay too much
to get him. Yeah, exactly. Like he's been going about 7th round. Maybe so he went here at the 7-2. Normally you can get him a little later, that mid 7, 7-8, 7-9, somewhere in there. But yeah, he's starting to flow up. So
yeah, he has
absolutely.
another day like this next week. He's definitely going to be rising up.
Rafi says DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, and Jahan Dotson. our guys who moved up. So we definitely talked about more. Judy looked okay, had a bad drop, but still showed why he's definitely a guy I'm targeting in that wide receiver 2, especially if you can get him as a wide receiver 3 range. Jahan Dotson, you guys know I've been all over him all off season saying I'd rather pass on Terry McLaurin where he's going. As much as I love Terry, give me some Jahan Dotson like 3 rounds later. But his showing this week,
similar points.
yeah, he went here where Addison was going. They're all kind of going together. He went here at the 7-8. You might have to, by the time draft start, he might be like a 6-round pick. He might go like ahead of guys like Hollywood and Deontay and Mike Williams. So a couple more showings like that as a second year guy, he should be going ahead of those rookies. He went after Addison, after JSN, and after QJ went right after him.
Yeah,
so
QJ went right after him.
Yeah, or not right after, but a little whiles after. But still,
in the area,
the 3 main rookies. Yeah, so he should be well ahead of them. I don't want him to be, but he should be. That's where I have him ranked. All right. So who else you got? Any other wide receivers you want to point out? There's a lot of guys that showed out at wide receiver to me.
No, that's what I got right now. Yeah.
All right. I'll just honorable mention Thornton with New England. He had a nice catch, went up and got it. You like to see those kind of athletic plays. You mentioned Tank Dell. You mentioned Addison. I think Pickens looked really good. Kenny Pickett. He was actually, I think, on one of my QB risers. He has me not worrying as much about DJ Moore. I think how he came out, showed the poise, led them on that scoring drive. That attitude that Pickens has is nasty. We'll see if he can keep bringing it. But he might be a guy I'm not shying away from anymore there as a wide receiver 3 if I can get him there. DJ Moore, I think, is still going to go anywhere between the 5th and the 7th, depending on the draft room. Kansas City, man. Richie James scored a touchdowns, and my boy Justin Ross scored a touchdown late. I want to see him with Mahomes, man. I want to see Justin Ross with Mahomes. We'll see if he gets to make it and play with the ones and just makes the team. That's just a deep sleeper that I have. Seen him actually creeping up in the Underdog ADP. He's actually going in the 18 rounds now. Like not even in the 18th. Like he used to just be a guy you could grab, scroll way down and get him. But now people are starting to have some shares of Justin Ross. So if you go back and see his days before he got hurt, he's a good player. So just somebody I have highlighted there. Puka Nacua with the Los Angeles Rams went three catches on 5 targets, 32 yards and a touchdown. So he looked nice. He looked decent. So keep your eyes on him. Someone has to catch balls there besides Stafford. Maybe it's Higbee, but right after that might be Puka or Van Jefferson. So we'll see who Stafford ends up liking there. But definitely a name to keep an eye on. I don't think you need to draft him, but keep your eye on him. You might be one of those guys who show up in waivers after week 1, 2, or 3. So who you got as fallers? I didn't really have too many wide receiver fallers per se. But you have anybody?
I didn't really even write down any fallers on it.
All right, I'll get through those real quick. I just had Olavi. All right, I got a couple of tight ends. I got more tight ends to talk about than wide receiver fallers. Interestingly enough,
there you go.
I don't even know how or why that happened.
How that happened.
I guess I just love receivers. I'm like, no, they did all right. I could see what's going on there. But Chris Olavi, man, I'm not going to overreact too much. He put up a goose egg. Was targeted, just couldn't seem to catch the ball for whatever reason from Derek Carr when other people were making plays over there. But he ends up with the goose egg. We expect him to bounce back. I don't think he's necessarily going to fall. But if he does, definitely buy that dip. Just wanted to mention him just to have somebody to talk about. And my boy, Jameson Williams, man, obviously going to be suspended for this first 6 games. Gets a chance to play here. Obviously not playing with Goff, but, gets 7 targets. So obviously they're trying to throw the ball his way to see what he can do. Only gets 2 catches for 18 yards. Not a very great showing. So again, just something to keep an eye on, especially knowing he's going to miss another 6 weeks. It's just, it's tough for someone who I was so high on to do something so stupid and miss another 6 weeks when you already missed your rookie offseason and everything and barely came back to play like at the end of the season when they were trying to make a playoff push. And, granted, you touched the ball and scored 40-yard touchdowns or 40-yard catch on every time you touch the ball. But, we know that's not sustainable. I just want to see some just maturity and growth, I guess, there. I guess I'm getting too old, man, to mention that kind of stuff. But so that's what I have as my followers. So go ahead and mention your tight ends, man.
So we'll go back to the way he's feeling. No, man, our league's 20 years old. How old are your
Seriously.
leagues? I didn't see anybody post. How old is your league?
Yeah, if you're in
How
here,
long?
man, let us know
many
how
years
old your
league
leagues
are you?
are.
We're in our
Your
20th
oldest
year.
league.
I've seen some guys in a 30-year Dynasty league. So just tell us how old your league is. Yeah, he was funny. Besides
Oh,
Stafford,
did I
I
said
don't think
Stafford? Oh, I meant Cup. Besides
Yeah,
Cup,
yeah. Besides,
Stafford
you
has to
said
throw
besides
to
Stafford, I don't
somebody.
think Stafford is
Yeah.
catching his own passes.
I won't show the label, but the bottle's empty at this point, so we
Yeah.
gotta get this thing going.
We gotta get
We gotta start ending this before who knows what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Without further ado, here.
Get
So
that
we had the
notebook out.
lobbies. We got the followers down on wide receivers. Let's talk the risers on tight end. Risers. You actually had the same guy I had. I was going to
Nice.
mention Jawan Johnson from last year on New Orleans. Mostly because I watched that game and that team was, doing some things. And I don't know. I'm always it's like I have a hard time buying it all the time because my guy's over there too with tight end, and it's kind of hard to just like kind of say,
Taysom
oh
Hill.
yeah, you know what I mean. Taysom Hill still, he's just a Swiss Army knife for them. You know what I mean? Like the dude's a running back, he's a wide receiver, he's a tight end, he's a quarterback. Where do you need to put the guy, right? Like,
Get him on the field, right?
Yeah, just put him on the field, give him the ball, he'll do something with it. He might get you a touchdown. He's a explosive player. But I think it would be good for New Orleans to just kind of solidify that position. Jawan's been doing good things for the last couple of years over there, and I think it's probably a good year for him to take over at the position and actually be mostly the number one player over there and really have the start. So, and then I don't know what they're going to do with Taysom Hill, but have to move him around somewhere and put him in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, he did get one less. He got half the targets that Jawan Johnson got in the same preseason game. So
Yeah,
is what it is. But yeah, I like Jawan, man. He's decent. Again, he's one of those greater late tight ends. Someone you could stream depending on the matchup. And I mean, we've seen what happened. Carr has produced a top 5 tight end in Waller before. I mean, so we know he likes to target that tight end. So I mean, and we kind of seen that happen. Went to him in big situations, nice chunk plays, 2 catches, 29 yards. You play that out over a game. You throw a touchdown in there, and that's a nice spot start tight end or streaming tight end until he does something dirty to you. You can kind of keep him in there. So yeah, definitely a guy there. Another guy I had was Jake Ferguson, man. Obviously, Luke Schoonmaker was kind of coming off the injury. He did get 1 catch for 8 yards, but it looked like the Ferguson show. Granted, it wasn't Dak, but he went 3 catches on 3 targets, 38 yards. So definitely not bad for a tight end there. In what, like a quarter or maybe a half that he played. So, I mean, not bad. Yeah, and we know Dak likes throwing to the tight end. So I think that's a nice late guy you can for sure get. Only follower I had at tight end, or did you have any other risers at tight end, or just
no,
it?
that was it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Tight end follower I had was kind of Dulcich. It was interesting to see him kind of split time with Troutman. That came over from New Orleans. So just something to kind of keep your eye on. But maybe there's a couple other guys you can move up ahead of Dulcich if you're drafting here soon until we see a little more. Again, it's hard to kind of tell. Teams are just maybe throwing some stuff out there, maybe
flyer,
things they wanted to work on. Yeah, I mean, they could just cut them the next day,
or just
so you never know.
Now.
Yeah. I'll even throw kickers in there, man. Shout out to Justin Tucker for making a 60-yard field goal in preseason, keeping their undefeated streak alive. Without that touchdown, they would have lost. But they end up winning 20-19. Their undefeated streak is like crazy long in the preseason now. Greg Joseph, 54-yard field goal as well. That Minnesota offense should be putting up points this year, whether it's touchdowns or field goals. Greg Joseph, if you're playing with kickers, definitely a guy I'm targeting. Kicker follower I had was Moody from San Francisco. I believe he missed 2 field goals there. Not great. I kind of turned that off that game. I can't stand getting manhandled by the Raiders.
Who was it? That was
I just can't couldn't do it, so I kind of
They
turned it
finally
off.
drafted a kicker, and he goes out there, and then he misses his one attempt as a rookie. I forgot who it was. I was watching the game, but now you mentioned Moody missing twice. I forgot somebody else missed, and I was like, man, these things are not gimmies anymore.
Nah.
Especially even just the extra point after they move the extra point back, since it seems like it's more important nowadays, and we've actually made a change in our league for the points on that. We went back to something different. Now we're doing what, fractional points, right?
Fractional points for your kickers if you're still playing with kickers. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. So yeah, man. Dimboy says he doesn't have a home league, but is
nice.
the Golden State right there? We go, man. Well, you're part of our home league, man.
Yeah,
that's basically a home league for me.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite leagues. One of my favorite leagues we started over there. Shout out to the Get Right Fantasy Dynasty team, the Dynasty League.
He's talking to Henry. Hunter Henry. The proper OC Mac will target him for the first downs and
Rafi,
in the red zone.
I got some shares of him in best ball.
They picked him up first place. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's good. That's a good call on that. Hunter Henry.
There you go. DCAS in here saying the dogs. How's it going, y'all? What's up? What's up, Dylan? Appreciate you coming out here, man. Yeah. Anybody got any questions before we sign off here? Let me know.
Oh, we gotta bounce the last guy.
No, I was gonna say I got you. I was gonna say that wraps. No, I was gonna say that we're not. I still got at least 10 minutes in me. So that I'm trying to make it in 4. I'm gonna try to squeeze 10 minutes into 4. So here we go, man. That wraps up our risers and fallers there. Of course, we have more guys that we could have gone over, but just some guys that we're paying attention to, people that maybe stood out for all the right or all the wrong reasons. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let us know in the comments who you agree or disagree with there, or maybe something we missed. Definitely let us know, man. Appreciate your contributions. So with that said, we're going to get here to our number 1 team. Our guy that placed number 1 ranked team consensus in the semifinal round. And again, for those of you guys who haven't been watching for some reason, the Get Right Fantasy Mock Draft Tournament of Champions is underway. Again, it's down here at the bottom. Make sure you get into the description and come join us. We still have spots open for next week, which is the last week, to get into this thing, to try to make the semifinal and make it to the final round. And so this will be the number 1 ranked team moving on to the September 1st finale. And that is, go ahead, Frank, tell them.
FLG RJ.
FLG RJ. Congratulations, man. Drafting out of the 4 spot. The top 3 teams go 1, 3, and 4. So who said the best teams aren't drafted out of the front half of the draft? So congratulations, RJ. I'll read off the team this time just since I have it here.
And real quick before you read it
off, go ahead.
And Anthony and I rarely agree. We both had him as our best team this week.
Yeah, number 1 for me.
Which we were both kind of discussing before the show. It was like both number 1 for me and him. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, good job. So goes with basically a classic hero RB build, which pretty much got me, as you guys know. Austin Eckler here, as you guys know from watching our intro. Definitely a place in my heart for him. Just saying the words Get Right Fantasy for us, man. I can't thank him enough for helping us out with that intro. So shout out to Austin Eckler here. He takes with the 104. Goes Chris Olave, who was just on my followers, but this was graded prior to that. Goes Devonta Smith, Jerry Jeudy. So love those 3 wide receivers in a 3 wide receiver league. Grabs an elite onesie. I guess second tier quarterback here in Joe Burrow in the 5th, where he was going, in the 4th. Prior to the injury, grabs one of my favorite RB2s here and David Montgomery. Goes Jackson Smith Najigba and QJ here. 2 rookies that have some great upside attached to good offenses, as is wide receivers 4 and 5. Grabs Samaje Perine here in the 9th, who we were just talking about. Great RB3 there. Then he gets Elijah Mitchell, who you guys know I'm big on, of course. There's going to be opportunities there as a flex type guy in that offense, that run heavy offense that my Niners run. Grabs a top type or mid tight end, a guy that you can pretty much set and forget. You're going to have good weeks and bad weeks, but someone that I just feel comfortable with walking out of the draft with and not feeling like I need to already start playing matchups. I'll give it a 3 or 4 weeks before I feel like I need to move off Njoku here. at the in the 11th. Then goes Roshan Johnson as his RB5, who was one of my risers here. We were just talking about tonight. Great passing game upside, especially in a PPR as your wide receiver 5. Gets the stack with JSN and Gino here as his QB2. Then takes a long shot flyer with another rookie here and Jalen Hyatt. So I just love all the upside potential picks here, which is why it was my favorite team. These are the type of up shots I want to take after you kind of build out your starting lineup in your core. Then I just want guys kind of all with upside, that are in good situations on, offenses that I feel can produce fantasy points. And pretty much besides the Hyatt pick, I can't disagree with any one of these.
They're all
picks.
good positive upside.
Literally
players.
made every one of these picks in a mock draft so far this year.
Yeah,
All of
and doesn't have a lot of risk in there. There's not a lot of guys with question marks in there. You know what I mean?
Suspensions, injuries.
Yeah, all these
like,
guys are up and risers, up and coming, ready to, if not the main dudes
Plug and
already on their
play.
teams and whatever. Yeah, exactly. You could set and forget it on a lot of these guys, and some of these guys in between, like P. Ryan, like you mentioned, Mitchell, JSN, Johnson, all these guys right there in the middle that he took. I mean, that's a nice little
superior handcuffs. If the one
Yeah.
goes down, these guys are workhorse
yeah.
guys behind him that
And you
can
can
work
wait
in
for
the
these
passing
guys because
game.
you got all
Yeah.
these other starters that you don't have to rely on these guys just yet. Let them develop during the season, see where you're really at, and I mean those are great picks. That's a really good team, really good team.
Yeah. So well done, RJ. Appreciate it, man. Absolutely well done with that one there. So we'll bring that off. You'll get that invite soon, if not already. I think I might have sent it to you already because I think he was in the Monday draft. That's why I had to pull him out early. So he might already know. But congratulations, man. So for those of you guys who maybe went ahead and fast forwarded to the end, I'll just list them all right now for you. Hopefully you listen to a little bit of it at least. But so starting with number 6, again, it was like me Ling or like me Ling. I don't know. But either way, 6th place, Swanky Mars 33 in 5th, HTTR for life in 4th. Yeah, JWN earning his spot as the 3rd place team. Awesome Eckler comes in as the 2nd place team, moving on to the finale, and Flag RJ moving on to the finale. So congratulations to you guys, man. Hopefully you guys can make it here on September 1st. If not, the other 3 alternates will, I'm sure, be more than happy to take your spot. The rest of you guys, unfortunately, you didn't make it. Got to start back again in the qualifying mock. Try to earn your way this Friday. Let me know if you want to be on standby. I have a standby list in case people don't show up. And then next week, you can get in all 4. You have 4 chances to get in. I'm removing the 1 entry per week rule. So if you want to get in there now, use that description and use that link in the description so you can get in there and run it now. So, Frank, you want to tell people a little bit about Trophy Smack? So if they do end up winning their league, what they can get themselves into?
Trophy Smack is one of our new sponsors, favorite sponsors that we got here. You can get yourself some belts, some rings, some swag. They got a lot of good stuff available. And I'm a proponent of the belt for our leagues. Watch the guy walk around with the trophy here recently in Reno. I'm all about having somebody with that swag. So definitely go check them out. Get the promo code Get Right in there on the website. I think we're gonna be doing something. Hopefully, maybe for 1,000 subscriber. Once we get something in there, maybe something from Trophy Smack or from one of our leagues. For one, maybe for possibly your league, you can get a belt. But I mean, we're definitely going to be supporting our people in Trophy Smack. So, definitely check them out and, give them a try. Go over to the website, put in the promo code, see what you think of what they got. It's a good deal.
Absolutely. And when you order it, when it comes in, take a picture and share it with us, man. In our Get Right Sleeper channel. We want to see it.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely. All right, man. So I guess without any further ado, the only thing else I want to say here, of course, is make sure you guys support our affiliate channels out there, man. We got your boys over here. Look at us. We were right on it. Go ahead. You got it?
Yeah.
There you go. So we got your boys, Tim and AJ, over on the Fantasy Frontline podcast. Make sure you guys go check them out. Throw them a subscribe. You got Cody McGoats, who's going to be back this Wednesday. He's back in 2 days. Him and Shirtless Pat and the fellas, they're back with the Check Down podcast. And then you got our boy, Dim Boys, who was in here in the chat earlier, might still be with us here. But he's going to be working on his show. The debut will be happening soon. So just stay tuned. We will definitely let you know when it hits out. But he's there, Mr. Adam J, with the Dead Zone Fantasy Show. So there you go. So make sure you guys go support them again. All the description or all the links are in the description to go subscribe to their channels, guys.
He's got a 100 on that 1,000 sub giveaway.
Ambassador extraordinaire, man. Ambassador extraordinaire. So
that's what we're talking about.
Again, one of our OGs, man, one of our first he was literally our very first subscriber, the first person to join us for a Friday night mock, man.
Yeah.
So again, we appreciate it.
You.
Absolutely. And been with us here ever since.
Got his own show.
Absolutely. Made it on the show now. So absolutely, man. Couldn't do without him. That first one's the hardest one to get. And here we are, only like 50 or so away from 1,000, man. So it's been an awesome journey.
So close.
Help us get there, man. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching right now. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit that like button and we'll get out of here, man. So Night Pimps, feels good to get right on a Monday night. Absolutely.
Right? That's what I'm talking about, man.
We'll be back here starting Wednesday.
I'm telling you, this felt like, we were talking football today.
We're talking football today, man. Talking football now, not all the same stuff or just doing the same mock and talking about dead zone running backs and stuff like that. So we're getting into the nitty gritty now, man. So we're looking forward to it.
He's trying to get the belt over here, man. I'm telling you, there will be a belt.
Oh, there you go. Oh, so he's taking your. Remember? Oh yeah. See, he was talking about your belt last time too. So he wants to get on that. So yeah, man. So again, we appreciate all the support, man. And again, just like we were talking about how Dim Boys ended up coming from subscriber to starting his own show with us here. If you're interested in getting into this industry, man, we know it's kind of tough to get started on your own. We're here to support you, help you get started, man. If you are interested, maybe with your own show, you want to come contribute with us, you want to be a writer, maybe your production, back end stuff, just let me know, reach out.
We need website people, we need people for everything, man. There's always
absolutely. If you want to be involved with Get Right, man, let me know. And we'll see how you can get in there. And again, even if it's just an ambassador helping us get subscribers and promoting the channel when you're doing mock drafts and stuff like that, that's what all these guys are out here doing for us. And that's why we've been growing so quickly. And again, we're just so appreciative of it. And I hope we, keep working hard here, bringing you guys the content. So with that said, we'll get out of here finally. I know when 7 minutes over, but I told you I had at least 10 minutes worth of stuff still to say.
I wasn't even kidding about that.
I know where I'm at, man. I've been doing this for a while now, like we said, going on year 3 here. Yeah. So I know where I'm at. But yeah, Dylan, so we'll get out of here.
To hit you up, man.
Yeah, man, hit me up. You got the email at getrightff@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up, DM me on Sleeper, Twitter. It's all in the description, man. Everything you need to know is in the description. Marty's out of here saying peace out. For myself, man, for Classic Mike, congratulations getting in that house. Hopefully he'll be back with here on Friday. We might have a special guest for you here on Friday as well. So make sure you tune in. You'll see it when we got to find out if we can announce it yet. It's that big time. So make sure you guys tune in on Friday. Again, for Classic Mike, like I said, he should be back this Friday. Dustin, who was in the chat earlier, man, hopefully we can get you on here soon. But we know you're holding it down behind the scenes. For my boy Frank, who's been making his appearances here every Monday. We'll be back Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Sunday mornings for you guys here soon. We're out of here, man. Peace out. Later. You got the intro or me?
Oh, no, you got it. Yeah.
All right, I got it. All right, we're out, guys. No, it's all good. We're out of here. Peace out.
Wanted to white fantasy is the play. Marking off and